Hey, thanks for joining me on another coffee with Waymark. Well, it happened to me. I have I have notifications from the US Postal Service, Capital One, Chase, Citi, US Bank, Wells Fargo, and I know that there are a few more. But long story short, my wife was hacked. And as a result, someone went in and tried to do two things. One, open up as many credit cards as they possibly could. And two, and this is a little bit, this really surprised me, was that they applied to the US Postal Service to get what's called informed delivery. I didn't know what informed delivery was, but after learning about it, I became much more aware of it. Long story short, there's a way that you can get a service, a free service through the Postal Service, which will scan all of your mail that comes into your mailbox and deliver it to your email box so you know what should be in your mailbox. Now, if a hacker or someone who's bought your information had that information, not only could they open up all the credit cards, but they could see everything that was coming into your mailbox and then continue to weasel their way and pry into your identity and continue to steal it and make things very difficult. So the good news is that I already had taken steps prior to any of this happening by freezing my wife's credit. And how do you do that? So as you probably know, there are three credit bureaus. There's Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. And those three credit agencies, they allow you to freeze your credit. And so long story short, that's what we did. So as you see here, on Equifax, that is frozen. And then once we did that, knowing that, so what stopped everything in its tracks was that we had those security freezes. So every single one of these forms that we got in the mail actually says that the application was stopped because there's a credit freeze and they couldn't continue to process the application, which is great. So I was really happy with myself, but I wanted to do the due diligence and make sure that no other damage had been done, or maybe I didn't receive something in the mail yet that was going to show me that something actually had been opened on my behalf. And so I went to annualcreditreport.com, definitely something that you should take advantage of. It's a free service offered by the government, and it's authorized by federal law. It allows you to get once a year your full credit report from each of the three credit bureaus. So in my case, I pulled down all three, one from Equifax, one from Experian, one from TransUnion, to see what kind of inquiries were being made on my wife's credit report. And sure enough, right here on January 7th, January 6th and 7th, here's Citibank, here's Capital One, here's TD Bank. They're all there. And so long story short, I am in the process of trying to inform all these companies that gave me this form that stop the application, cancel the application, put a fraud alert on this on my wife, so that anyone who's trying to get credit in her name should be stopped at the pass. Final thing that I did was I contacted each of the different credit bureaus and put a fraud alert on as well. What the fraud alert will do is for a full year, it will pretty much put red lights on my wife's social security number, so that if someone tries to open credit in her name, they're going to be asked even more questions to identify that that person truly is my wife. And hopefully that will put this to rest. More to come. I have a feeling that I really hope I don't have to make another video after I find out if there's any more damage that's done. But at least at this point, it seems like it's contained. Cross your fingers. Thanks again for joining me, and remember to be well and do good.